In this tutorial, we're going to create an AI bot that can prepare a lecture plan based on research done online using multiple agents in Flowwise AI. The goal is to build a system that leverages several agents working together to gather information on a given topic, process it, and then compile a cohesive presentation. We'll start from the Flowwise AI homepage. On the left-hand side, navigate to Agent Flows and click Add New to create a new project. But before jumping into building, let's take a moment to clarify the difference between agent flows and chat flows, since this will help us understand the structure of what we're creating. Chat flows are designed for simple, linear conversations where user inputs are handled sequentially. This method works well for straightforward scenarios, where no complex logic or interaction with external tools is needed. Agent flows, on the other hand, allow you to build more sophisticated systems that can connect to external tools and data sources. Within agent flows, we have two main structures to work with. One, multi-agents. This structure works like a manager assigning tasks to specialized workers. It breaks down complex tasks into smaller, manageable parts. 2. Sequential agents. These agents follow a sequential approach, but can also handle parallel execution, conditional logic, and loops, giving you more control over the flow of conversation. Now, let's get started with building our system. When working with agents, it's essential to define the start and end points. We'll begin with a start node, since every agent flow requires a clear starting point. Navigate to the Sequential Agents category in the menu and select Start. From here, we'll connect several nodes to the Start node. Many of the nodes you might be familiar with, but one that might be new is the State node. This acts like a database that can store and pass information between nodes. For now, we won't be using the State node, but it's good to know it's available when you need to track data across the flow. Let's move on to setting up our AI system. We'll begin by linking a chat model and an agent memory node to the Start node. This will help manage the conversation context as we proceed. The next step is to add 3 agents, 2 for researching and gathering data, and 1 for processing that data into a structured lecture. Navigate back to the Sequential Agents section, select an agent node, and drag it into the workspace. Once you've added one, simply hover over it to reveal the copy icon and duplicate it twice more. Now think about the structure of our system. First, we need to link the Start node to the 2 research agents, Agent 1 and Agent 2. These agents will run in parallel, each gathering information independently. The outputs from these 2 agents will then feed into the third agent, Agent 3, which processes the collected data to generate a final lecture plan. Notice that Agent 3 should not be connected directly to the Start node because it only starts working once the first 2 agents have finished their tasks. To keep things organized, we'll give each agent a name: Agent 1, Agent 2, and Agent 3. Naming them helps us keep track of their roles, especially in more complex setups. Now that we've set up our agents, let's define some variables to enable data flow between them. Variables allow us to pass dynamic data from one agent to another. Click on Additional Parameters and add a new variable called Question, which will represent the user's input. We'll set it so that this variable captures whatever query the user enters. Repeat this step for the second agent. For the third agent, we need to add not only the question variable, but also variables to capture the outputs from the previous 2 agents. First, add question as before. Then click the plus icon again to add variables named Agent 1 and Agent 2. These will pull in the results from the first 2 agents. Set Agent 1 to secu Agent 0 and Agent 2 to Secu Agent 1. The order here doesn't matter too much since we've already linked them in sequence, but if you're unsure which is which, hover over each agent and click the info icon to confirm their identifiers. With our agents set up, we now need to configure prompts for each one. These prompts will guide the agents in their tasks. For Agent 1 and Agent 2, the prompts will focus on researching the given topic. For Agent 3, the prompt will involve synthesizing the research into a coherent lecture plan. Feel free to pause and review the prompts on the screen if needed, as they might be a bit lengthy to type out here. Now, let's explore an even more powerful aspect of agent flows, using tools. Tools allow an agent to have multiple capabilities and intelligently choose which one to use based on the task at hand. For our example, we only need one tool, a web browser for online research. To set this up, go to the Tools category and select Web Browser Node. Add this to the flow and note that the web browser requires both a chat model and an embedding model to function properly. We can link it to the existing language model we've already set up. Additionally, we'll add an in-memory cache node from the cache category and connect it to the chat OpenAI node. This will temporarily store data for quicker access during research. Connect the web browser to the first two agents, Agent 1 and Agent 2, as they will be doing the heavy lifting with online research. The third agent will only process the results from the first two, so it doesn't need a direct connection to the web browser. To complete our flow, we need to add an end node. This marks the conclusion of our process, so we'll link it to Agent 3 since that's where our flow wraps up. With everything set up, let's save the project under the name 3-Agent Flow. Now, we're ready to test it. For this example, let's set the topic to machine learning. When we run the flow, we'll first see how the two research agents gather data. This process is only visible to us as administrators. Users won't see this step when interacting with the bot. Finally, Agent 3 will take the collected information and generate a structured lecture plan on the topic. And there you have it. You've successfully created an AI system using Flowwise that can dynamically research a topic and turn it into a well-organized lecture plan. This setup demonstrates the power of using multiple agents to automate complex tasks and leverage external data sources efficiently.